This episode of Greekly Speaking is brought to you by Naphene's Dream. Their site features a collection of natural and organic skin and hair care products that include no chemicals, parabens, phosphates, or petroleum jelly. They also offer products for both babies and pets. Visit them today at naphenesdream.com. That's NAPHINES dream.com. Honoring those trailblazers who preceded us is just as important as leaving a legacy for those who will follow us. Greekly Speaking is about highlighting Greeks today who are creating positive change for tomorrow. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Hi, welcome to Greekly Speaking. I'm Eric, and joining me for this episode is Michaelle Jones-Collier of Sigma Gamma Rho, Sorority Incorporated. She was initiated in the Alpha Delta chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho in 1991 at St. Louis University. After attaining her master's degree in counseling, she worked as a youth specialist and social worker for over 20 years. After planning several trips for family and friends, she decided to turn her passion for travel into a business and started the Rhoyalty Vacations travel service. Michaelle, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us on Greekly Speaking.
I'm fine. How are you today?
Hey, I am great. Thank you for asking. I'm excited to talk to you today, learn a little bit about your background. We kind of connected a little bit online, and you became a new member of the D9 Business Directory, where we're highlighting a lot of our D9 business entrepreneurs and authors and business owners such as yourself. And I said, we just had to get an opportunity to meet this young woman and see what inspired her to go Greek and what inspired her to start her new business venture. So for starters, are you originally from St. Louis?
Yes, I was born and raised in St. Louis, lived here all my life, never lived outside of St. Louis, except for college. I lived in Cape Girardeau for a few years after I graduated. No matter what you hear about St. Louis, I love St. Louis and I love, my community that I live in.
That's fascinating. So did you have any Greek influences in your life coming up?
No, not really. So I was in a program called Upward Bound. And so with that program, we were able to stay on the college campus in the summer times when I was in high school. And I did meet a lot of Greeks, but none really influenced me. When I went to St. Louis University, I was a music major, believe it or not. And my mentor was a Sigma Gamma Rho. And that's how I became affiliated with Sigma Gamma Rho.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had never met her before. I didn't know her from anything. They just paired us up as a mentor. And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't looking for Greek life. And it was a new sorority, a predominantly white sorority on campus. And, I was kind of checking them out. And she was like, no. She was like, let me show you, historical Black Greek organizations, So that's how I was introduced.
So she was a student mentor that was on campus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was a student mentor and she was a music major.
Oh, I got you. So you guys had that academic background in common, but also I guess this was an upperclassman who could kind of show you around a little bit.
Yeah, she was actually a senior that year that I was a freshman. So yes.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. So what did your family say when you told them you were thinking about joining a sorority?
Well, my family, I was the first one that went to college in my immediate family. So they didn't know anything about it. I told my mom, hey, I need some money. And she wrote the check, and her and my sister, they supported me 100%.
This is fascinating. I too was in Upward Bound. And I remember going to my mom and saying, hey, look, I this is what I want to do. Will you support me? That feeling, you don't know what you're going to get, a yes or a no, but that's great. So how many people were initiated with you?
It was 3 of us initiated. I was a music major. The other 2 young ladies were setting out to be school teachers, which they both now. One is actually a principal and the other one is a school teacher right now. lifelong friends. We still get together once a year on our anniversary. We still talk and kind of just experience life together as, I guess I'm gonna say, grew up.
All right, I got you. What was the name of the line?
The name of our line was SS Two Times Over. Long story, but two times over.
Two times over. Should we
Yes.
get into this?
No.
Okay, all right. Right. You know, yeah. It seems like every segment we have something that comes up that we just gonna go ahead and skip over. But that's great. What was your line name?
My line name was SOS. Long story. We won't get into that either.
SOS. What number
Yes.
were you?
3.
Number 3. Okay.
Yes.
We
Yes.
need threes. Like I always
Yes.
say, they're all right, So what impact would you say Sigma Gamma Rho has had on your life?
Oh wow. I'm gonna say it kept me focused. Being in the sorority kept me focused. I believe had I not joined the sorority, I probably wouldn't have finished college. I probably would have been like, oh, this is me. But it kept me driven, especially giving back to the community and helping the underprivileged. That kind of kept me going. It's like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is the impact that I want to make. Because I was in a trio program in high school, it made me want to be able to give back to others also.
What kinds of community service events and programs is your organization known for in that area?
I'm active in a small town called Jefferson City, Missouri, about 2 hours away. We usually do Operation Big Book Bag twice a year, where we provide school supplies to students. At Christmas and Thanksgiving, we write letters to the troops so that the food pantries can include thank you letters to the troops. This Christmas and Thanksgiving, we actually collected money and we provided food baskets for people with COVID. We're going to do March of Dimes in March. We had the McDaniel Breast Cancer Awareness Program. Domestic violence. We'll have a blue jean campaign for domestic violence coming up. So small chapter. It's only 8 of us in the chapter, but a mighty force down in Jefferson City.
What advice or recommendation would you give to someone who's considering joining a sorority or fraternity?
Explore your options, because what you think you might want to do may not be the best fit for you. So explore your options at the campus or local level, kind of check them out. Don't make hasty decisions. The biggest thing is make sure it fits you. Don't do it because somebody else wants you to do it. Make sure that you'll be a good fit for them and they'll be a good fit for you.
That's cool. So we touched a little bit about your background and social work, and it sounds like you really believe in giving back to the community, and you must have an eye for seeing where a need is.
Yes. So I actually have a nonprofit organization also that helps young women. We kind of see what the need is in the community and we supply that need. So we had an organization who needed books written by African-American authors. So I had a book drive and I, kind of solicit friends and family and organizations to donate books so that we can donate the books to this other organization. But I was the founding member of that organization.
Oh, well, that's awesome. What's the name of it? So in case we wanted to lend some support.
The name of it is Diamond in the Rough.
Okay. We would definitely be sure to check that out. And so you got a lot of startups in your background. I mean, so Diamond in the Rough, and then your travel agency, Rhoyalty Vacations, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to reach out to you. I love the name. I love the branding behind it. Rhoyalty, obviously with the H, with Sigma Gamma Rho, not affiliated, but there's some connection there. Tell us about that organization.
So like I said, I love to travel. So I've only been married for about 6 years, but when I say we travel, we travel. We do a lot of traveling. And so about a year ago, I told my husband, I was like, I think I want to be a travel agent. He said, okay, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. And I said, okay. So I kind of sat on it. And then my sister had her 50th bash. And so I planned a cruise for 70 people and all the events, masquerade ball, just the whole shebang. And it was wonderful. And I was like, you know what? My calling is still to help people. but I can help them in a different fashion, enjoy life, enjoy their happiness. So that's what the idea behind Rhoyalty. And so then when I thought about the name of the organization, I was like, I want something that stands out, something different that stands out from everyone else. And I said, how do I feel when I go on vacation? I want to be like the cream of the crop, royalty, And so
Right.
besides Rhoyalty Vacations would be the name.
I love it. I mean, that's a great thing to point out about your brand. It's not about what you see, where you go, and what you do. It's about how you feel, right?
Yes,
You're having
exactly.
this experience. And I think that's a wonderful thing to point out and something that you can use to set your company aside. I think that's great. So what types of packages do you offer? Is it mainly cruises or?
Whatever my clients want, I put it together for them. So if they decide they want to go on a cruise, I'm going to look and see what's the best cruise deals we have. If they decide that they want an all-inclusive, I'm looking to see what the best deals are, because every week I get updates on, the different deals that are out there. So I have a lot of resources that can give me information. This week it may be one thing, next week it may be something else. It just depends on like the time frame. But also I have the ability to change things and upgrade things and, to kind of make it special for the individual people. When you say you want to go on a vacation, it's all about the experience that you want. So we may go to the same places, but we may want two different experiences.
Okay, okay. That's good. So you can customize based on budget, interest, destination, and things like that. One thing I'm starting to notice is that a lot of people are starting to get a lot of cabin fever. They're itching to get out and go places.
Yes.
But what do you say to the folks who may be a little concerned about the current pandemic situation when it comes to travel?
Yes. I guess I would say this. First, if you leave the country, you have to have a COVID test to come back into the country. So you have to have it at least 3 days before you return. So I think that might be a determining factor for a lot of people who want to do destinations, because that's a cost that you will have to come out of your pocket for. It's not included in anything. Some of the things that I would talk about as far as, with the pandemic and the whole COVID is to decide on what you're comfortable with first. Whether you want to fly, whether you want to drive, whether you want to take the train, and then check with the city that you want to visit to see what their social distance, what their COVID rules are, because all of the cities are different. And once you figure out where you're going, what their COVID rules are, then you can start planning your trip. So if you're going to fly, then you need to plan, do I want a direct flight? How early do I want to get to the airport? Because if you want to try to social distance a little bit better, you have to have a plan, So it is so many ways that you can social distance. Even if you drive, I think driving is your best bet as far as social distancing and staying away. You can do camping. You can rent a Airbnb instead of staying at a hotel. You can do even like private cabana type deals if you want to do, a destination. But a lot of the hotels are really good about cleaning. A lot of them have sealed rooms where they tape the rooms. If the seal is broken, that means somebody been in the room, So you need to check with your hotels to see what their policies are, and check with the countries and the cities to see what their policies are.
I like that. And it's all about information and sharing it and passing on what you know. And then for those folks who would be interested in helping you put the packages together, because like I said, with travel agencies, it's not just about a flight or a cruise, right? There's all the other aspects
Right.
of your
Oh yeah.
trip that you can help with, right?
Right. Yes. Even if you plan your trip and you need me to help with your excursions, I can help with your excursions. So like I have a trip to Cancun planned already, which I had a credit for flight. So, you know, I can book your hotel. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be your whole package. It can be pieces of your package. It can be even as, getting your tickets to the museums and, the water parks or whatever that looks like for you.
So for those listeners out there that may be interested in getting a vacation package coming up, where would they go to find out more information?
For more information, you can go to rhoyaltyvac.com, which is spelled RHOYOLTYVAC.com. That's the website. Email is RHOYALTYVAC or you can call me at 314-688-0241. Michaelle Jones-Collier.
Michaela, thank you so much for joining us on Greekly Speaking. And as I said, we wish you the best of success with your travel agency and your foundation as well.
Thank you for reaching out to me. I really do appreciate it.